YouTube, and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're very close to our magic mark of 1,000 subscribers. Help us out and hit that subscribe button, and tell your friends about us as well. We're going to get back on the Buick Regal. In the last episode, we were able to get the fuel pump on and able to get the water line, upper water line made. On this episode, we're going to continue on with the fuel system. We're going to install that protective tube, metal line that the fuel line will run through the inside of the car. We're going to get that installed today, and we may try to see if we can locate a lower radiator hose. And we're also going to do a little go-kart racing out here in the back on our personal go-kart track. So ride along with me. Let's see what we can get into. All right, in our last episode, I was telling you about this closet rod that is just a fantastic thing to use. It's real lightweight, it's very thin, and it's perfect to put inside. We're going to have to cut a hole in the back there in the firewall in the front, and we're going to run the fuel line through that. So it should be pretty straightforward. So let's see if we can get this installed. Okay, we're going to start off by just simply putting a hole in this front firewall, and I'm just going to use a drill to get it going. I'm going to use a hole saw, and I hope this thing's will be sharp enough. It doesn't feel very sharp, but hopefully we can get a hole punched in this thing. Kind of a tight fit to get in here. We're going to take our Ziz wheel now and see if we can widen this out. All right, we got our initial hole put in. I made it slow on purpose. We're going to take this bad boy here and see if we can open it on up right now. Okay, I think that'll be perfect right there. It's kind of hard to see, but I just simply inserted that in. Then we'll mark where we need to put the hole back here in the back, and we'll push it back in. We'll just have about just a half-inch lip back on the back side of it. So let's get this other side cut, and this will be done. That was a lot easier doing in the back than it was in the front. Now, okay, we'll take our Ziz wheel again and open that up just a hair. We'll be a good shot. I'm probably going to do this from the bottom of the car. That way, a little bit easier to get to. Well, this back side was a whole lot easier to cut than the front side was, so let's let the car back down, see if it sticks through, and see what it looks like. All right, how about them apples? I tell you what, that's tight as it can be back here in the back. We got just about 3/8 of an inch coming through on both sides, and I'll tell you, we're gonna leave that white. Now, I don't know that Hendrick does that. I don't know if they go to Home Depot. But look, it worked fine, and I'm not into spending unnecessary money. Nobody will ever know any different except those of you who's watching this video. But we're going to let it put fuel line on top of it in red. That'll look really good on that white, and it'll stand out. And I mean, like I say, I'm all about being frugal as we can. I'm not getting paid a penny to do this car. I'm doing it out of my heart, and I think that's going to look fantastic. Now, Speaking of Hendricks, like I say, I don't know if they do this or not, but I want to give a shout out to all my fellow Kyle Larson fans. That was pretty awesome. I'm not going to get political, but that was a great statement that he made last Sunday night. We'll be right back with you. Okay, we're going to start off by getting this fuel cell bolted in. We're going to concentrate on the fuel system today. And I've got some brand new bolts. One picked up at Tractor Supply, a great place to get bolts if you need them. We're going to get this fuel cell bolted in, and then we're going to get the fuel filter fixed up. I'm going to put the rear shocks on the rear of the car, so let's see if we can get this going. Okay, we got the fuel cell bolted in all the way around, the cage rather. So now we're going to try to tackle this ram filter. I'm going to try to clean this thing up. I hate this is so bad rusty, but we'll probably just buff this thing really hard, see how much we can get off. Probably end up painting, to be honest with you. Hopefully my sponsor up here at for our race team, maybe they have this is a HPG C-1 filter, so it should be still a common filter, so hopefully they'll have that up here at the auto parts store, so we'll go check that out at lunch. Anyways, try to see if we can get this thing cleaned up, see what we can do to it. Okay, I went up to the local auto parts store, and they actually had a Wix filter. It's not a Fram, but so don't tell anybody, it's top secret, but just a standard fuel filter. Got some new paint on this, and just in case you're wondering, that's the same color as the Nova. So it's not quite exactly Fram orange, but it's close enough. So put all this together. The canister cleaned up pretty good, but y'all, that's just the way it's going to be. I'm not going to spend $100 on a new canister. When it's up here in the dark, you're not going to be able to tell it. It's just, you know, like I say, it's not. We're not doing a Bill Ryan car here. We're getting something that's running. So and save it from the scrapyard. So we'll get all this back together here. And that is going to seal just fine, I can see. So we'll go ahead and just put this one on. I know this is super exciting watching this, but okay. Hey, but that straighten that. That looks. I mean, that looks okay. I think it'll be fine. At 200 miles an hour, nobody's gonna know, right? So we'll go ahead and get this stabbed up here. Turn around this way. I've got 2 new bolts and 2 new washers here. Okay. Simple as that. So I'll get us a 9/16 and get that tightened up. Then the next thing we'll do, we'll make a line here from the pickup to there. So we'll keep rolling. All right, we got our line. I happen to have one that'll work just fine. Going with that, it's 245s. Really, I prefer to have the 45s than I had the 90s, to be honest with you, because I don't like having any type of restriction in a fuel system anywhere. We'll have to have 190 coming off up here. But Buddy's fixing to, this is the long line here. We're gonna make this line here, so we'll go all the way through this tubing. And before I do that, I've got to paint this here. I got a bunch of handprints on it last night, so we're gonna repaint this. Then that'll, then we'll actually be able to install the fuel line all the way from the fuel cell all the way up to the fuel pump. I haven't given an update on what Buddy's working on. Buddy's working on the power steering lines. He's got those made up, and he painted the tank mount, and he's gonna play with that now. And I guess I need to show you what all the activity back here in the back is. As I mentioned, we're gonna play with go-karts a little bit. We're finally done with the racing season, so This is the go-kart room, and we're out here getting them all ready. I've got the little kids gonna ride there today. My grandson, this is my great nephews. And Ryan has graciously volunteered to get everybody's karts going. And so I got the track ready yesterday, and my daughter's gonna ride mine. And I need to put a little water on the track. But we'll get this all going here in a few minutes and give you a little footage of that as well. Well, we're still waiting on some other people to show up, but look at my grandson out here. I can't believe it. All righter, get there. He's doing good. I'm glad. He's kind of looking around a little bit too much, but that's okay. Good job, Ryder. My daughter, Allison. Always got to get instructions from Daddy. Okay, we got the cones out, trying to help teach Axel on the corner entry. He wants to go in so low, so we're putting the cones in place, and he still wants to almost run over him. He loves the bottom. Bobby Allen would be proud of him. We're going to force him up. Hey, for 6 years old, he's pretty amazing. Okay, all the go-kart excitement is over with, so I came back in here and I actually went to Home Depot and bought a new fuel line housing. I painted this one over there, you see on the wall. It's just too cool. It's about 50 degrees and I can't get paint to stick well, and it wasn't covering up my fingerprints. So I said, hey, I'll go spend another $12. But another thing, I cut it off a little bit longer, because what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put a little small hose clamp on the front and back, and that way you'll locate it. I don't have to worry about trying to weld anything, but it will just clamp on the front and back side of the firewall, and you won't be able to see that, and that way it won't be able to move back and forth. So we're going to feed our fuel line in here from the front to the back. I still got to put a fitting on the front, but this will give us the length we need. So we'll start trying to get that in here now. Okay, we got the fuel line fed through now. And you can see how it's just going to loop up. We'll put a L clamp right here, and then it'll go into the fuel. So we'll just put a couple clamps back here. That's the way they had it secured originally, but now we got the housing put in. We'll just run this length here up to the fuel pump. I'll measure it and pull it all back out and cut it to length. Then we'll put the AN fitting, the 90, because we're gonna have a 90. Obviously, I can't get the 90 through the housing here. So it should be pretty easy from here. Okay, I put a fitting that you can see down there. Then I marked it. That's where we're gonna cut it. Then we'll go ahead and put the AN fitting on this end. Then if we ever have to pull it out, we can pull it out because the other end's got it straight. But we had to put it in there originally just to be able to get it measured. So we'll cut this off and put this 90 on there, and the gas line will be finished. Okay, we got our gas line is measured to length. I cut it, put a 90 on the end. We went ahead and put our insulation on it, and we measured this out, so this should work out just right going to the firewall. So my buddy John Teal, he's here, he's gonna help me feed this in there. So I'm gonna get him to go to the back of the car We're gonna go ahead and feed it through, and he's gonna catch it in the back. At some point, it should come out back there in the back. Okay. Okay. Once you get it, I'm gonna go. If you'll grab it out here in the back, I'm gonna go up and move it here. Okay. So take it off. So he's got it on that end. He's go back there and put it on the 90 above the filter. Go ahead and pull. Can you pull it, son?
Okay, pull on.
That should be pretty close. I'll go ahead and get this side started.
You guys need to come some more.
Okay, well I've got plenty more.
It probably will come about 3 or 4 more inches.
Okay, let me
Oh yeah, that'll work because it's enough to work back there.
okay. Uh-oh. No, that's right.
Did you go to the right?
Yeah, we're right. I didn't think it was at the right spot at first. There we go. Man, I should have plenty. Okay, so let me get these fittings tightened up now, and we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It's been very successful in the fuel system. We've got to just put some 8N clamps back here, 8L clamps, whatever you want to call them. And we just got 2 to support the fuel line back there. We come out of the pickup into the fuel filter, out, down. This goes over the tubing. We got to put a 8L clamp here. Then it goes into the tubing you see there. Then through the car. It comes out, and then we pick up the insulation, and you can see where it lays in there just right down to a 90. Very nice, love it. Well, that wraps up another very busy day here in the shop. As always, I greatly appreciate you guys joining us today. Appreciate the help from my friend John Teal and, of course, Buddy Parks and all the work he did here. I had a little bit of fun on the go-kart track and mixed in a little bit of work here on the Buick as well. But as always, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Tell your friends about it as well. And we're going to get back on this thing. I got to go to Kansas this week, so it's going to be a few days before I can get back on it. But we're real close. I still got to get the rear shocks on it. We're going to start on the interior of the car next. That's the next big item. But thanks for watching as always. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you. Take care.